just talk about what it means to you to be here, be the keynote speaker.
Oh, it means a lot. I love it. Having the opportunity to speak to young, our youth, these young scholar athletes. It's a special time for them. And I remember when I was a young scholar athlete myself, and I never got a chance to see people who I saw on TV come and speak to me. So I think it's a special opportunity for myself to be able to hopefully give them some words of encouragement and some words of advice.
Good. Can you kind of compare like a little bit, when you were kind of a young buck coming out, going into college from high school, how it's different now? Like a lot of these kids face a lot of different challenges than even you back then with the social media and the pressures on them like that.
Yeah.
What would you give advice to some of these kids of how to handle some of that, all the things coming at them at once like that?
I think the beauty of this banquet is that these kids, they've been doing a pretty good job so far of juggling all of that. That's why they're here tonight. So they're to be commended for that. But then they also need to know that it's going to get more difficult as they move along. And so I think they have a good foundation right now. They have a good base. But the key is not to lose focus. Stay focused. Stay committed to your values that got you here tonight, and don't be derailed.
You're obviously no stranger to winning big awards. There's 13 finals here, one of them's going to win. But how much does it mean? How much should it mean to them just to make it to this point, just to be honored?
To be honest with you, and not to sound like a cliche, but I think if you made it here, you're a winner. To be honest with you, that's the way I look at this special group right here. So I think they should all understand that. Now, I don't know the competitive nature of all of these individuals in here, because you want to win, though. You still want to be that person. So I understand that aspect of it, but even if you don't, this is a special acknowledgement. This is a really unique group, so you have to really feel good about yourself, even if you're not the winner when you walk away from here tonight.
One of 4 players to win a Heisman and a Super Bowl MVP. Do you ever stop back and look at your career and like, wow, that was me? Like, that really happened to me. Obviously, reflect on some of the, great moments. What do they all mean to you, now, and you can reflect a little bit about that?
Well, I try not to, because that's what you do when you get old.
I'm not saying you're old.
I'm trying not to feel old, so I try not to. I just try to keep it moving. But what happens is during Super Bowl, during like those 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl is when they start to really play your highlights and things of that nature. And I think that's when it really hits me. July, no one's really talking about it. So I don't sit back on my couch and think about it. But so times like that, or in December, or like late November going to December, when all the hype was about the Heisman front runners and the Heisman candidates, then you start to see those highlights and stuff like that. Then it crosses my mind at that point. But outside of that, I try not to.
Can you kind of touch on the message that you're going to give today? Just kind of what you're going to emphasize overall.
Yeah, well, I like to tell these young scholar athletes that I'm very impressed with the way they've been able to balance their lives so far with academics and athletics, and obviously probably social media and just social life in general, because it's not easy. It's a challenge, and like I said, it's a tougher road ahead. It's very important for them to try to maintain those values, those core set of values that they've been taught, from their guardians to their coaches to mentors and everyone else who's in their life that's helped them, and make sure that they just keep that foundation as they move forward, because the real challenges lay ahead for them.
Right.
When you talk about the Michigan guy, what do you think that Jim Harbaugh has brought to the program? What he's meant? It seems like he's doing a lot of interesting things, raising the profile of the program yet again.
Yeah. Well, Jim Harbaugh is, I think, actually what Michigan needed. They're good coaches, but every good coach isn't a fit for every program, and he's the right fit for the Michigan football program. You hear people talking about, this team is tough, or that unit is tough, or that individual is tough, and I just think that he brings a Michigan type of toughness to the Michigan football program. So he's the right guy for the job, and he's doing a tremendous job so far.
Just kind of off of that, I'm a Big Ten guy. What do you think about the Big Ten this year? Who do you think is going to be the front runner?
Man, it's like May.
Long time.
Hey, we're all talking about it.
Listen, Art Browse just got fired. You know what I mean? things change
Yep.
quick in college football.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are going to be players who are going to get suspended. There are going to be players who are going to get hurt. So, and these things, I mean, they change the face of a program real quickly. So, it's real early. It's very early. I think you got your cast of usual suspects, so to speak. Everyone's talking about the Buckeyes and how much talent they lost. It'll really be interesting to see, how they bounce back. Are they just going to reload, or will they struggle? Michigan State, they've always been that team that they just play real consistent, solid football, and they're just a dangerous team, just lying in the weeds, waiting for you. Obviously they lost their, I think, the top quarterback in the history of the school, in Connor Cook, so that's a huge void in that offense they have to replace. But I mean, D'Antonio's a really good coach. I'm sure he'll figure it out. They don't ask much of their quarterbacks anyway. They really don't. Yeah. So you got Coach Harbaugh at Michigan turning that program around. It's wide open. The Big Ten is wide open this year.
What do you enjoy most about TV work, and what are the challenges that it presents for you?
What I enjoy most is my team. Yeah, the college game day group, man, is just a really good unit, good group of guys. We enjoy each other. We can go to dinner like on a Thursday night or a Friday night and enjoy each other's company. And I think, if you pay attention to some of those pregame shows, when you look at the guys on the desk, you don't get the feeling that once they leave the desk that those guys hang out together. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we do it. We genuinely enjoy each other's company. So I think that helps the chemistry of the show. And the worst part is traveling.